And now, for your listening pleasure, the Blazing Defender Report with your host, Travis Jones. I'll never say that with a straight face, ever. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the Blazing Defender Report. I am your host, the Blazing Defender himself, Travis Jones. What's going on? Happy Saturday to everybody. I want to tell you what went on in the comic stand the last couple weeks. I've got a huge stack of books over here, but some things I need to get to first. First of all, welcome Periscope viewers. I love you. It's a big part of my show. I want it to become a bigger part of my show. After the show, I like to have a question and answer session. I like to get your guys' feedback. No better way than to do that shit live and in your face. So glad you could show up, guys. Another few people I want to say hello to is Cincinnati Comic-Con. What's going on with you? Hope you're partying. Hope you're drinking. Hope you're buying a lot of shit. Buying a lot of prints from my boy Chad Nuss. He's awesome. I know he's got me up at Cincinnati right now. People walking by, seeing this crazy bearded bastard talk about some comic books. That's what we do here, man. This is what's going on. I also want to say hello to my Comic Jack members. What's going on, fellas? Glad to see you guys in the Periscope room. That's awesome sauce. I also want to welcome the new group, Superhero Movies, on Facebook. Want to say hello to you guys. I know I'm new to your group, and you're possibly new to the show. So I want to say hello and how you doing. And I really, no shit, enjoy that page. There was a great discussion yesterday about who would win a fight between Dokken and Midnighter. I'm a huge Midnighter fan. Yeah, I know you're out there and you're going, he's gay. I know he's gay. I've always known he's gay, damn it. He's badass. That gay dude would whip you. So mad respect to the Midnighter. But no, it was a great conversation. No one really got mad. There were some people on there just being funny and goofy, but that's all part of it too. But I want to welcome you guys. Like I said again, Comic Jacked. Them guys, you want to talk about really getting some heated battles about who would win in a fight, who's the strongest out of these two guys, who's the strongest out of this trio of superheroes or villains. They do it all on there, man. It's a great administrative panel. It's a lot of fun. Those guys have crazy, sick knowledge on comic books. I like to think I do, and sometimes I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? So, really great page there. I also want to give out shout out to my boys from the Helicarrier. They are another podcast that I listen to. They do the Marvel's Avengers Alliance game on Facebook, which I'm a huge player, and I know a couple guys in the Periscope room are also. So check those guys out. They know their shit. They can really change the experience for you by listening to their show. I know they kept me involved when normally I would have gotten out because I just got frustrated, didn't know what to do. Listening to their show, they really have a lot of great input and a lot of enthusiasm for the show. They've got a lot of stuff going on over on their channel. So visit those guys on their website, FromTheHelicarrier.com. All right, enough of that crap. Now I want to get down to some serious business. Hey, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to people that I've never met, do not know, I've never seen. I want to say thank you for all the best wishes I've gotten. I had surgery a few days ago I say a few days ago, bullshit. It was 18th. I had bicep surgery, had a tendon repaired, and it sucks. Let me tell you, it really sucks. So many people on Facebook have opened up and said, hey, man, wish you well. I had the same injury. This is what helped me. This is what I would avoid. I'm getting some great care, but I appreciate all the best wishes that everybody's giving me. Thank you. Thank you very, very much for that. Now, I had a couple people tell me that I should discuss what Periscope is on my show. So very, very briefly, because we have a big week, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, Periscope is basically a live broadcasting format. I have my cell phone up. I run a high dollar operation, goddammit. High dollar. I've got at least $20 in this webcam that you're looking at. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. You can see the shit on the, you can see my fingertips. Look at that. Then I have my iPhone with a little plastic thing up on the top of my screen. Okay. And now I'm going to point at it. Yeah. That iPhone's got a great camera too. So what I've done is while I'm recording live, or I'm recording for my YouTube channel, I have my Periscope up on top of my computer, and it broadcasts down. It broadcasting it live. If you're seeing this, I am live right now at whatever time it is, 5:35 Eastern Standard Time. So you're live with me right now. Periscope. It's an app. Go to your app store, find Periscope, and look for Blazing Defender. Look for anybody you like. And if they're on Periscope and they do live stuff, they're probably using it. I know it's new to a lot of people, but I think it's really cool. I think it's a wave of the future. And I like being live. I don't do an edit for my YouTube show, so why would I do an edit on that? Let's just go live, right? I ain't scared. If you're scared, get a dog. So, Periscope, app. Download it. Follow the instructions. Set Blazing Defender to notifications. That way, when I'm live, you get a notification. Hey, that crazy bearded bastard's live. He's idiotic as shit. Let's listen to him. He's going to talk comic books today, and I'm all about that. Now, we're getting closer to the comic books. I promise. All right. Another thing from feedback that I got from people is, and this is a good friend of mine, and I consider him pretty intelligent, which I probably shouldn't. He said that he really likes my show, but he gets confused. Okay. This is what I'll say to that. It's very hard to reach the audience I want to reach, which are people that want to get into comic books. They don't have a lot of base knowledge. They're just familiar. Okay. I want to bring them out of that familiar area and bring them into the fucking professional killatorium arena where they can get in and be like, yeah, nobody can lift Thor's hammer because, okay, that's my goal for you. Now, I also want the people, like some of my Periscope viewers right now, what up, that are very, very knowledgeable, because that's the kind of people that are like me. I like being around those kind of people. I want to reach those people as well. So, if you get confused about something I say, hit me up on Facebook, Blazing Defender, Twitter, Blazing Defender, okay? One of the reasons I chose this freaking name is because no one had it. Google Blazing Defender. You'll find an outlet where you can reach me. If you have a question, you're confused about something that I said, please, please, please contact me. You do not understand how bad I want feedback. I'm like a crackhead for feedback right now. And I get a lot of, oh, it's great. Oh, I really like your show. That's awesome. That's the end game. That is sweet, and I love it. But I also want you to say, you were talking about this. I got kind of confused. You jumped around a little bit. This is what I need, okay? Because I want to get better each show. I want to try to get a little better, a little more comfortable. I'm trying to find my voice. I need your help to help me find a better voice. Let's put it that way. Not to help me find my voice, but to make my voice better. How about that? Okay, so too confusing? Hit me up. I guarantee you I can clarify what I said. All right, for the most part, unless there's a lot of bourbon and Percocet involved. If that's the case, then you might be shit out of luck. But try me up anyway. All right. Now, let's get down to some shit. Some swag, as I like to call it. Let me move my stack of huge-ass books this week. We got a huge week, man. Marvel Collector's Corps. First, I'm going to give you props because I'm a positive dude. Then, I'll give you the other shit. Now, I'm trying to do this one-handed because I can't lift anything with this left arm yet. There's the Collector's Corps box. Secret Wars theme. Periscope viewers, see that? It's got Jane Foster. Oops, spoiler alert, Lady Thor on the box. It's a really, really cool box, but who gives a shit? What we're going to do with this box, okay? What's in the box? What's in the box? All right, let's find out. It was a pretty good box, and I'm not going to lie, I do Loot Crate and Marvel Collector Corps, and I really, really like Collector Corps. Collector Corps has never let me down each week. Okay, first I'm going to get to the crap, and I call this crap. Some people think it's pretty cool. All right, it gives you a patch, Collector's Corps patch there. We got the Falcon, okay, the new Captain America. Now, okay, not yet, Collector Corps, not yet. And then we've got another. This is like a pin. It's a really nice pin. They're heavy. can't believe how heavy they are. Collector's pin. See that periscope? It's Iron Man. Now, where you messed up. Oh, nah, I'm going to save that to last. I got a sweet Funko Pop Thor, Goddess of Thunder, I guess we'll call her. Secret Wars #1 variant edition. Marvel Collector Core variant. Very cool. Comes with a board on it, too, which I dig that a lot. And it also came with a really sweet shirt. I had it on last week for the show, okay? I was waiting for Collector Core to remedy their issue with my box before I broadcasted it. But to be fair and full disclosure, Marvel Collector Core did contact me. They did say that they acknowledged the problem and they were getting me out my next bobblehead. Now I'm going to tell you what they did. Miles Morales, exclusive Funko Pop bobblehead. It's pretty cool, right? All my viewers know what a Spider-Man fan I am. So you all know that I'm really excited about this. No, all my viewers think I hate Spider-Man, which is not true. All right. Now, you know what the other bobblehead is? Boom! You're like, hey, stupid. You just showed us that one. The Percocets are already kicking in, man. You got to quit snorting them. No. They sent me 2 Miles Morales bobbleheads. What I should have gotten was Thor. The Goddess of Thunder bobblehead is what I should have received, but I didn't. So I got on Twitter, contacted support. They got back with me really, really quick, and they are sending it out. I have tracking numbers on it. I was hoping I would get it today, and I was just going to dispense with all the negativity. But what the hell? It is what it is. This is the first time they've messed up for me, so I'm cool with it. And thank you, Collector Core, for making good on it in a very, very timely manner. Very good customer service. All right, now, without further ado, all the bullshit aside, let's get to the freaking reviews, man. Let's do this. Okay, this first book I want to talk about. Now, we're going to go Battle World, okay? We're going to go Battle World here. Now, this is what may be confusing people about Battle World. It's confusing. I'll just say that. Battle World is freaking confusing. Even for somebody like me who's buying all Battle World stuff and kind of knows, I know what's going on. But sometimes I'm like, what the hell? And then I kind of put 2 and 2 together and I get it. Okay? So, let me say this. I'm saying Battle World for the people that know what Battle World is. If you do not know what Battle World is, don't worry about it. These are still characters that the core characteristic of these characters are what you like about the character anyway. It just may be a different version of what we're used to. Okay? And I try to point that out. So, and that may be where I'm getting in trouble. But let's do it anyway. Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. Okay. Now, this book, as you can see, Kitty's got bone claws. Okay? And that is our Star-Lord. That is our Peter Quill. Now, when I say our Peter Quill, I mean Peter Quill from the Marvel Universe 616, which doesn't exist anymore. Don't worry about it. This is Peter Quill that you know from the comic books. He's smart, he's snarky, he's charming, he's funny. Very, very much like Peter Quill in this book. Now, our Kitty's a little different, but he loves her anyway. All right? Now, what has happened is Kitty was on a mission to bring back an anomaly for Dr. Doom, who runs Battle World. Okay? Long story. I made it short. Now, they were kidnapped or basically double-crossed by the Collector, which is not the Collector that you're thinking of, but in Battle World, it's Gambit. Gambit has made a deal with Dr. Doom. He's trying to collect anomalies outside of Doom's knowledge. Okay? Kitty goes in, trying to get it, is basically everything's fouled up by Peter Quill. When Peter sees her, he's, oh my God, that's my kitty. I love her, blah, blah, blah. And then he finds out it's really not his kitty, but he tries to help her anyway, being the hero that Peter is, even reluctantly so. And craziness ensues. Okay? Basically, they're trying to get the anomaly back. Peter goes to help her. Gambit sets a trap. All right? Now, this is where we pick up this book. Okay? They are being held captive by a alternate Kitty Pryde, who's a robot. Now, what happens is in Battle World, and what I found out new this time in Battle World, is that if there is, Doom has allowed alternate versions of people to be born. Okay? We know that's not the case, but this is his story, his spin on it to people. But Kitty also knows that if she's around the presence of another Kitty Pryde, she can't phase. She can't use any of her abilities because they negate each other. Now, there's this little floating robot head of Kitty Pryde flying around them, so she can't phase them out of their restraints. Okay? Gambit's basically toying with them. You really don't know what Gambit's going to do yet. Peter Quill, being who he is, basically charms the robot with a song that he knows that his kitty loved. And his kitty loved him singing, so he figured, why wouldn't this kitty? And he was right. She basically helps him escape. Kitty gets her phasing ability back. Well, Gambit's got a trick up his sleeve, too, because in the deal that they made prior, he got Longshot's blades. Longshot's blades, and we all know Longshot's abilities of luck, do not miss. So, Peter's looks like he's hurt pretty bad. Kitty comes to the rescue. Well, at the very end of it all, it looks like Doom shows up. He's heard about this anomaly from another dimension that could destroy his hold on Battleworld. He shows up, and just by the way Doom's talking, you know something's up. So I won't give it away at the end who it is, but I knew this guy would come into play. In the first book, he was a big part, and then we haven't seen him for the last couple of issues. This is only issue 3. So, and this, by the reading of the end of it, is basically the end of the issue. Now, what was cool about this book, and this is some feedback I got back also, people were wanting, when I say that the art's really good, people were wanting to see what the art looked like. So, I had a page marked that's really good as far as, all right, here we go. All right, can you see that? See how the artwork is? It's very comic booky. Not comic booky. Let me rephrase that. It's very cartoony. It looks like something you would see on Saturday morning, a very good animated cartoon. Typically not my style, but it really, really works in this book because this book has a lot of charm, has a lot of charisma. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think this is the last one. I think there was only 3 issues. So very, very good stuff for the most part. If you like Star-Lord and you like that dynamic between him and Kitty Pryde, this is the book for you. Easy peasy. All right, now sticking with Battleworld theme, this is one of my favorite titles to come out of this series. Thors, and you can see that guy right there with the crazy homeless cap on and the shackles. That is Loki. Okay, all right. To try to give you just a little bit of synopsis, the Thors are the police force that Doom employs, and there has been like a serial killing of Jane Foster's and of Donald Blake's. You know, like I said, there's different variations in all these dimensions of this same person. Well, across the dimensions, Jane Foster's and Donald Blake's are getting killed. So they bring in the Ultimate Thor, is what he's called. Now, what he is the Ultimate Thor from the Ultimate Universe, Marvel Universe, okay? Not to confuse you. Don't worry about it. It's still Thor, okay? Now, last issue, we seen him run into Unworthy Thor, who lost his hammer, okay? The Odin's son, the Thor that we all know and love. He used to be a Thor Corps member. He was like thrown out for what we really don't know yet because it was so long ago. And he went to the Ultimate Thor and said, look, man, you need to stop investigating this case. You're not going to like what you find. I'm telling you. Well, Thor's partner's killed, which was Beta Ray Bill Thor, and he was killed. So now Thor is going after it. He gets a tip, finds Loki. Loki was Beta Ray Bill's informant, the last person seen before he died. It looks like Loki killed Thor, Beta Ray Thor. So Ultimate Thor has got him in an interrogation room, and he's really hammering him, trying to get information. Loki, being the Prince of Lies, is speaking in riddles and tongues. But he's trying to lead Ultimate Thor to a conclusion. And at the end of it all, I don't want to give it away because the whole back and forth between him and Loki is really, really cool. This is a cop drama with Thors. Okay, it's really, really cool. It's kind of unlike anything I've read before, especially from a big name, mainstream name like Thor. So basically, Thor finds the grave, which is in the Deadlands, is where all the Marvel zombies are, outside of the wall. He finds a mass grave with all these Jane Fosters and Donald Blakes. Okay, he's ambushed by somebody that I never expected. And I still don't know the reasoning behind it, but he's basically beat up pretty good by this guy. This guy can hold his own, obviously. I'm not sure from what dimension he is, but he's pretty badass. And if it wasn't for the Odin son, the unworthy Thor, our ultimate Thor wouldn't have made it. Okay? That's all I'll tell you. I don't want to give away the big reveal, but this is a very good book. If you like cop dramas, if you like that whole NCIS, Special Victims Unit, all that stuff, very much like this in a comic book with big time, with big hammers, blonde hair, and lots of muscles. So pretty good stuff. Really enjoyed this run. Anything Jason Aaron writes, you're probably going to like it. I'm just telling you. Little tip there. All right, now the next book. I've got a huge stack this week. I got to start getting through these. Okay, Squadron Sinister. Now, there's Hyperion on the front, kicking ass, because that's what Hyperion does. You can call him evil Superman all you want. He's Superman without the magic weakness. So, he's pretty tough, pretty badass. Now, overshot of this book is simple. You got Nighthawk, which is like a Batman, an evil Batman, and Hyperion. They run their domain. Now, every little province outside of them is another Squadron Supreme. Okay? Very different variations of the different members. Squadron Sinister, they're the bad guys. Hyperion is killing everybody. Nighthawk is right with him, and then you've got Zarda, which is basically like Wonder Woman, okay? She's almost on Hyperion's level. If anybody could take Hyperion down, it would be her, okay? But they're involved, okay? But we also know she's running a game too. You don't know her true end game until this issue. Now, Nighthawk is running his game also. His game is he wants rid of Hyperion. So what's really cool about this book is you've got Zarda, who's got her agenda, and you've got Nighthawk, who's got his. You got Hyperion, who's trying to take over everything. He's trusting these people, and he's getting played. Now, the funny thing is they're all bad. So it's kind of like, who do you root for? Are you rooting for Nighthawk? Or are you rooting for Hyperion? Or are you rooting for Zarda? Zarda's actually not that bad because she was actually trying to help somebody that was good. So Zarda's probably your protagonist, but a lot of antagonists to deal with. And it's really cool to see Nighthawk orchestrating everything. Really, really like this book, but I'm a big Squadron Supreme fan. So, if you like evil versions of the Justice League, this is your book. See how easy that is? Now, you don't have to listen to anything else I said. If you like evil Justice League, Squadron Supreme. It's pretty good. I like it. All right? Artwork's okay. It works. Nothing spectacular, but it's pretty good. All right. Moving on. One of my favorite artists right now. If you know who Joe Madureira is, he's a legend. He's a rock star in comic books. Now he's into video game design. He does comic books every once in a while. This guy, I think, could be his successor. Geraldo Sandoval, he's amazing. He is amazing. All right. Now, that's his cover. That's Sandoval's cover. I misspoke. He is not the interior artist. He has been the interior artist until this issue. But that's really cool. Okay? Now, if you're familiar with the Age of Apocalypse from the 90s, very much the same deal. In Battle World, again, you have this group of heroes and villains still fighting the Age of Apocalypse. Okay? You've got Magneto, who's running the mutants. You've got Cannonball, Cyclops, and Havoc that are working with Sinister. And then you've got Mr. Sinister, who's got You know, he's working with Apocalypse, but he's kind of got his own agenda too. And then you got the Horsemen, which are Sabretooth. A lot of stuff going on in this book. I really can't give you away. I can't give away everything because it'll ruin it. So I don't want to do that. What I will say about this book is this: the artwork is really, really good. I can't think. His name's Colello. He does a really good job. It's very Sandoval-like. It's not Geraldo Sandoval, but it's very, very Geraldo-like. So the artwork's a good match. The story is a little bit choppy, I'll be honest. It kind of jumps around really, really fast. You got to keep up. But in saying that, it's very action-packed. And there's a lot of action. There's a lot of fights. So if you're a big X-Men fan, if you like the whole Age of Apocalypse from the 90s, maybe you're familiar with that, you got to check this book out. It's got great artwork, and the storytelling is okay for right now. I will say that, just to be fair. Okay? So check out the Age of Apocalypse. I've really enjoyed it so far, even though they took Sandoval off the book. But check it out. You'll like it. All right, next book, Future Imperfect. Now, that is just a badass shot of the Maestro. Look at that. That's just badass. Okay? I like him. I've read the Future Imperfect series by Peter David a while back. The first one. I liked it. It was okay. I didn't know if I liked my Hulk that way, but this has been really good. Now, this is issue 5. I believe this is the last one of this story in Battle World, because we're going to get out of Battle World eventually, okay? So, Maestro has got one goal. He wants to get rid of Dr. Doom. He wants to be the end-all, be-all of everything. He thinks he can do it. Everybody else thinks he's nuts, okay? He's been fighting with the Thing, which is not Ben Grimm in this universe. It's Thunderbolt Thaddeus Ross, okay? He's Ben Grimm, he's the Thing in this universe. He has a resistance. Maestro is the Baron of his domain. They're fighting. Finally, they strike a deal. Maestro says, you help me get something that I need to kill Doom, and I'll leave. You can have this domain. So the Thing's like, sure, I get rid of you any way I can. So that's what he does. They help get the Destroyer armor. Okay, that's the whole goal, is to get the Destroyer armor. And the Maestro thinks if he has the Destroyer armor, that he can get rid of Dr. Doom, okay, which remains to be seen. Now, he's got to go through what they call the Guardian of the Doom, or of the Destroyer armor. Last issue, we seen who that was. It was Rick Jones, an old, decrepit, broke down Rick Jones. Okay, he's sitting in a wheelchair. He ain't got no hair or nothing. He's all scrawny. And they're like, "You're the protector." And he's like, yeah. And they're like, I want the Destroyer armor. And he's like, okay. And Maestro's like, what do you mean, okay? I'm not falling for this, And he's like, look, there it is down there. If you can get in it, then it's yours. You can have it. All right. So the Maestro, being as arrogant and cocky as he is, he jumps down this hole, and there's the Destroyer armor. And he gets in it, and he's this powerful being. Well, then Doom shows up, and Doom's like, who dares? You know how Doom is. He talks just like that. And him and Doom have this huge brawl. And now, I don't want to tell you how this book ends, okay? There's a huge fight between Doom and Maestro and the Destroyer armor. But how it ends is not something that I foreseen coming. Pretty good ending for the most part, I feel. But I'll be honest, I was kind of like, oh, man. But that's a good enough ending. I mean, why couldn't it end like that? I mean, one of the Maestro's weaknesses is his arrogance and his cockiness. And it came to get him. So I don't want to tell you how it exactly ends, but it's pretty good. I've liked this book. I love Greg Land. I think Greg Land draws some of the best women superheroes in comic books. He's up there with Frank Cho and Scott Snyder for that instance, for my taste. And Jay Liston is a Louisville guy. So he goes to my comic book shop, and he's a cool dude. So he does a lot of work with Greg Land. He's basically Greg Land's inker. So I really enjoy the look of this book, and the story's been pretty good. So 5 issues in, I believe that's all that there's going to be of this because of the way this ends. So if you like that run of Future Imperfect with Peter David, he draws a very good, he writes a very good Maestro. So check it out. All right. Now, a book that I'm really enjoying, Hail Hydra. Okay? And that right there is Ian. Really, Ian Zola. He is the adopted son. His real name is Leopold, but I'm confusing you. He's the adopted son of Captain Steve Rogers. Okay? That's a whole other story. Dimension Z. Google Captain America Dimension Z. You'll find out what I'm talking about. It was a great, great run. It's kind of changed Cap for the duration. The things that happened in that Cap is still dealing with. So in this book here, Ian basically used a thing called a forever elevator, and he woke up in this world that is run by Hydra. Okay, it's like waking up in a nightmare for him. Okay, he was actually trying to help a guy. He ended up kind of hurting the guy and trying to help him. So Ian, being the adopted son of Captain Rogers, is trying to do his best to make things right. He's confronted by a clone of himself that they're calling Captain Hydra. They have this huge fight, and Ian gets his ass kicked. I mean, he's beat up really, really bad. Okay? Back broken and everything. Now, what I didn't realize is Ian has a pretty accelerated healing factor. I knew he had a healing factor, but I didn't realize it was as good as it is because I thought, oh my God, he's done. Well, he's not. He ends up getting away through the sewer system. In doing that, he runs into the resistance of this Hail Hydra world. Okay, this world run by Hydra. And it's Captain Rogers, Ant-Man, Sharon, Tony Stark is there, okay? So all these guys are in this resistance. They think Iron's a plant. He's got to kind of convince them he's not. All right. Fast forward to towards the end, Venom shows up with this thing called the League of Vipers. And it's these chicks, they got these viper powers, and they're kicking ass. Them and Venom are kicking ass, okay? Iron comes to a lot of people's rescue. He's gaining some favor with everybody. And at the end, he gets away with the daughter of Steve and Sharon Rogers. And Steve is taken captive by Venom. Zola shows up in a way, and things are going really bad really quick. Now, this is only the second issue, but this is what I like. I like issues where it looks like the hero's in bad shape, and you wonder how he's going to get out of this. So Hail Hydra, it's only on the second issue. It's pretty good stuff. If you like the whole Iron Rogers, Captain Rogers dynamic, which I really enjoyed in Dimension Z, this is a very good, this is the next step. And Iron Rogers is going to be a big player in the Marvel Universe after Battle World's over. So get on board now. This is something that you don't want to have to go back and get later because it might be more expensive. Okay? So, now, with that said, I'm going to finish. Let's see. All right, yeah, the rest of the Marvel stuff. Can't say enough about this book. This would be the Nerdgasm pick of the week every week if it could be. Star Wars. And guess who it's written by? My man, Jason Aaron. See that? Jason Aaron. He's a rock star. He's a pimp. Okay? What makes this book so great is I can just hear Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can hear all their voices in how he delivers their dialogue and the storytelling. Okay? Now, basically what has happened, Han Solo and Leia are on the run from the Empire. Okay? He finds this little smuggler's moon that is supposedly uninhabitable, but there's a pocket that's inhabitable. He knows this. How? Well, come to find out, Han was married. Okay? His wife is there basically waiting on Han to show up. Okay, because there's a huge bounty for him and any other rebel leader that was involved in blowing up the Death Star. Okay, and Vader and Palpatine, they're on a mad hunt to get anybody that was involved in that. Okay, Luke being a part of that. Now, while they're doing this, Luke has been on I don't want to call it a vision quest because he didn't drop any acid, but you know what I'm talking about. He's trying to figure out what he needs to do to become a better Jedi. He's been getting his ass kicked. He wants that to stop, but he doesn't have Obi-Wan anymore to teach him anything. He hasn't met Yoda. Yeah, he has. He has met Yoda, but he wants to become a better Jedi. How do you do that? There are no Jedi left. Okay. And Yoda's dead. So what do? He goes back to Tatooine. Last issue, we had a big fight between him and Boba Fett, which Vader has contracted to find Skywalker. Okay. Now in this, Luke goes into a bar on a smuggler's moon called, let me pronounce this, Nar Shaddaa. Okay, it's Shaddaa. Shaddaa, I guess is how you say it, maybe. Okay, he goes there. It's a bad place. Now he's like, you know what? We're going to go there and we're going to ask some questions and we're going to find what we need to find out. Okay. He goes in this bar, and everybody's basically like, who the hell are you? I mean, he sticks out like a turd in a punch bowl. All right? A huge fight ensues. Well, Luke pops his lightsaber. Well, everybody kind of shits their pants at first. Okay? Now, the bartender, who's basically the guy that runs the joint, from what I understand, or from what I gather with this, he's like, I want that lightsaber. I want you guys to go get it for me. Okay? So another fight ensues. Like the lightsaber scaled him for a second, and then they're like, yeah, this guy's not a Jedi. Okay, he's got a lightsaber, but he's not that good of a Jedi. Okay, there's a bounty hunter there. Well, I think he's a bounty hunter. I don't know. There's a guy sitting back at a table. He sees Luke pop the lightsaber. He gets on the phone or communicator or whatever the hell it is. And he's like, tell him I'm going to get him another one. Don't know who he's talking to. Okay, so basically, Luke is like, okay, you guys want some more? Who's going to eat the lightsaber first? Well, as he's pulling it back, it's ripped out of his hands by this guy that was at the bar table. And he's like, got his hand out. And here, let me show you. I'll show you what it looks like. Because the art's really cool, too, in this. Again, I'm trying to do this. It's like, see that? Luke's got the lightsaber back. And then, boom, it's taken out of his hand. Okay? And he runs out. All right, the guy's like, ha ha ha, see ya. Now, how did he do that? Did he have something in his glove? Or is this guy a Force user also? I don't know yet, okay? And who's he talking to on the phone? Okay, so basically when that dude takes off, now nobody's worried about fighting Luke anymore. Everybody in the bar, and the bartender goes, give me that lightsaber. So then everybody's running out. Luke's on top of them, running out with them. So he's like, hey, shit, that's my lightsaber. Give me my lightsaber back. So now we're doing that. Now we go back to Leia and Han on this smuggler's moon. And after the whole banner between his wife and Leia, and she's turning them in for the bounty and this, that, and the other, the Empire shows up at the end. So a lot of stuff going on in Star Wars. A lot of good stuff going on in Star Wars. I'm telling you right now, if you're a Star Wars fan, which if you're watching this, you probably are, $3.99. Small price to pay, buddy. Small price for one of the best books that's being put out from week in to week out, okay? Jason Aaron, keep it up, brother. All right. Now, we're getting into my DC stuff. All right? Now, this is where the show may take a slight turn to Negative Town. All right? And we're going to start bad and try to get better. All right. Superman. Okay? Now, the reason this is so disappointing to me, I'm a big James Ramada fan, or Jay Ramada Jr. fan. Okay, I love his action sequences. I think they look really, really cool. This book, not his best work. It just doesn't look finished in some instances. I really don't know how else to say it. The story's convoluted. They're going after this hacker. He knows Superman's secret. How does he know a secret? I don't know. he's got these little robots that get into people. They give him information. Last issue, he ends up telling Lois who he is, and the way Lois acted was just, I don't know, it just didn't read viable to me, so I didn't like it. Now, Superman, basically the guy says, look, you need to meet me here right now, or I tell the world you're Clark Kent. So people involved with Superman are like, no, you can't go. Lois and Jimmy and this other chick that came from this hacker group. And he's like, I've got to. I can't let the world know. So as he goes, Lois insists on going with him. They're not romantically involved. He is basically with Wonder Woman. Okay? So they're not romantically involved in the new 52, so to speak. Okay? So they're basically really, really good friends because they work together all the time. And Lois is like, I'm going with you. I'm just still your friend. I'm going with you. So she goes, and Superman gets into a predicament that he can't get out of. His powers are on the fritz we really don't know why, to be honest. I haven't figured it out yet. And Lois ends up doing something that's going to alter Clark Kent and Superman's life from here on out. It was a pretty big move. Superman was really upset with Lois about it, and she felt like that was the only way to get him out of the predicament. I guess we'll see what the fallout is next issue, but Superman is one of my favorite characters. Him and Batman are one of my favorites. They're in my top 5. They always have been, always will be. And there's so much that can be done with Superman. It's just not being done. So this is a pass for me. I'm buying it because I'm continuing to buy it, but this is a pass. All right. Deathstroke, the Terminator. Now, last week I gave it a big thumbs down because, for one thing, you had Superman on the cover like you do again this week. No Superman. No mention of Superman or nothing. And I was kind of irritated by that. I don't like when comics do that. This isn't the first comic book in history to do it. They've done it before, but it's just not cool. You're expecting, ooh, that's going to be fun. And then there's not even a mention of the guy. It's like, man, you just do that shit to sell comic books. I don't dig it. Now, I do like Tony Daniels' Deathstroke. I love Deathstroke. He's one of my favorite DC villains, or rogue, or reluctant hero, or whatever you want to call him. He was basically tasked by a god to go kill a god with this god killer sword. It's this big gold sword. It looks awesome, and it does all kinds of stuff. And Slade has made a lot of mention to the fact that it basically does the killing without him. He just holds it. He's a vessel. The sword is doing the work. Okay? Now, we're on Paradise Island, which is the home of Wonder Woman, where Deathstroke unknowingly released this god, Lepetus, that is basically going to kill every human on Earth. That's kind of his role. That's what he wants to do. He's got this army with him now. It's bad news. Wonder Woman and Deathstroke, they kind of fought last issue. They said, look, we got to get together. You know how it goes. We're going to fight for a minute, and then we're going to realize that we're better than to get the bad guy. And that's what they do. Now, in doing this, Deathstroke's, they're all fighting the army. They're trying to figure out what their next move is to get Lapidus down because he's pretty badass. He's a god. And who shows up? Superman. Now, he sees Deathstroke with his huge-ass sword and automatically goes for Deathstroke. Now, you were wanting to know if Deathstroke could handle himself against Superman. This is your book. But granted, he has the God Killer sword, which is a deal maker for Deathstroke. Normally, he couldn't hang with Superman with no prep time. We all know that. But with this God sword, it makes it very interesting. And that's what I thought was really cool about this book. Even though it really let me down last week, like, I'm going to show you this splash page. Okay? This is really cool. I thought it was cool. Check that out. I can't see what you're seeing. But look at that. Deathstroke decks him with the sword. It's so cool, man. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. The artwork is really, really good in this book. The action, the way they draw the action is super, super cool. But I'll be honest, the storytelling, they've been really dragging this out with Lepidus. I mean, golly, are we in the fifth issue, sixth issue, counting the annual that they had last week? But this one at least was entertaining. So, again, I'll say, you like Deathstroke, you like big brawls, this is your book. You like good artwork, this is your book. I'm going to tell you. For $3.99, I believe, $2.99, $3. That's a really good deal. I thought it was $4. $3, really good deal. I like Deathstroke. If you like Deathstroke, this is your jam. All right. Now, next book, Justice League. All right. This is Brian Hitch's Justice League. I'm a big Brian Hitch fan. I like his artwork. I love his widescreen action shots. I think he does a very, very good job of that. This is the whole story with Rael, which is a Kryptonian god made real. He has come to Earth. Superman has gave him his blessing. He's curing cancer and world hunger and not giving a damn what anybody thinks about it. He's getting all these followers. Superman is hook, line, and sinker. The only person that isn't is guess who? Batman. He don't buy it for a minute. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And even if it is, he's going to have a contingency plan if it's not. Okay? So Batman and Superman have this great dialogue. It's only a few pages, or no, it's only a few panels long on basically why Batman is kind of like, why can't you get along with this? Why can't you get with this? This is a good thing. And Batman basically tells him why. And it's actually it is a couple pages. So it's really, really good stuff. I love Superman and Batman's dynamic. I love it. When it's done right, it's excellent cop buddy shit. Odd couple, dark versus the light and all that shit. Very good stuff. I like this. Even though the plot is thick, there's a lot going on. You've got Flash and Green Lantern that were accidentally teleported to planet Krypton 250,000 years into the past. Okay? Raul is the leader. And Green Lantern's like, look, we need to meet this guy. So, don't know how all that happened. I don't know if Flash had something to do with the Speed Force. They're kind of don't know what to do yet. So, Green Lantern's kind of out of contact with Oa from where they're at. So, a lot going on, but I really like where it's going. But the next issue something needs to happen. We need a reveal. We need a big fight. We need something that's going to happen because there's a lot going on. They need to start tying up ends because we're in the third issue. This goes 4 issues, 5 issues, and nothing's revealed yet. It's going to be too long. So I really hope Hitch and them bring it next issue. But if you like Justice League, I think this is a good book for you. Okay? I haven't been as negative as I thought I was going to be. That's pretty cool, right? All right. Now I'm ending with a book that I've really, really liked, and I've liked it since the first issue. And that's my boy Midnighter. Now the guy at the bottom, that be Dick Grayson, which I don't read the Dick Grayson book. I think he's a spy now working for maybe Amanda Waller. I don't know. All I know is he and Midnighter team up in this book. It's really cool. They have a great banner back and forth. There's some gay jokes, I guess you could say. Not really gay jokes, but because Grayson doesn't really poke fun at Midnighter being gay, but he makes reference to Midnighter being gay, and Midnighter just takes it and makes it funny. So this is all about, they're trying to give Midnighter an origin story, I believe. Midnighter has came from a program kind of like Weapon X, and it's called the Secret Garden. And basically this is a very, very secretive place that has crazy high-end tech that can make people killers. Okay? This is where Midnighter came from. He just found this out. And somebody has robbed the Secret Garden of all their tech. And in doing so, they stole the origin of Midnighter, which he himself does not know. So that's his main goal, is to find who stole the tech and to get his origin back because he wants to know. Now, the thing I love about Midnighter is he's all about sex, violence, and rock and roll. I mean, he relishes the fight. He's very Wolverine in that way. He's also very Wolverine because he sleeps with a lot of people. Let's be honest. I mean, they don't shy away from that in this book. This is a very adult book, very graphic fights, and the introduction of Dick Grayson gives a very odd, a very different dynamic, a very cop buddy feel again. But what's cool about it is, you know, Grayson makes it like a comment because Midnighter's kind of giving him orders, and Midnighter's like, "Oh, I thought you were used to taking orders from a guy in black leather." You know, like, come on, man. You know, I mean, that's just good stuff. It's good writing. The action's really, really cool. Let me see if I can find a nice little splash page here. Oh, it's not a splash page, but it's really, I liked it. Okay. This just shows you about some of the action. This is him and Grayson taking down some people. You can see that. I mean, they're throwing, you know, batarangs and Midnighters cracking people over the head, and Dick Grayson's kicking people in the face. I mean, a lot of action, man. A lot of good banner. Very, very good book. I think it's a very, very underrated right now. So Midnighter's an excellent book. I love the character. I want to know more about him. And I think it always makes a great character when they make something that you want to know more about. Okay? And I think it's very smart of them to give him an origin right now. Okay. Now, that's it for the reviews. So thank you for hanging in there this far. I'm going to show you what is going to be on the table for review next week. This is what I bought at the comic book store this past Wednesday. Okay. Now, I'm not sure about this one. This may have been one I had the week before, but I haven't read it yet. Jupiter Circle. See that? It's a sketch cover. I really like Jupiter Circle. Mark Millar is one of my favorite writers, along with Jason Aaron. Very good stuff. Very curious to read it. Now, I've had some people get on me because you don't read indies. I do read some indies. This is an Image book, so I guess it's not considered an indie, but it's very not mainstream, and that's the legacy of Luther Strode. You want to talk about action and crazy artwork and just, I mean, is it Tradmore, man. You want to talk about some crazy action sequences, violent, gory. I'm very excited that this book's out this week. It doesn't come out every month, so it's a little behind. A-Force, another Battle World product. Okay, you see that down in the corner, Battle World. Looks like She-Hulk and her girls are getting beat up by the cover. Really, really excited to see that. Walking Dead, huge Walking Dead fan. Okay, that's the new issue of Walking Dead. Now, another great book, along with the Star Wars line, is Vader. This comic book has made it to where Vader is back to being a badass. Sometimes I felt like Vader just wasn't evil enough. This book has got him intelligent, ruthless, badass, incredible book, Darth Vader. If you're a Star Wars fan, Star Wars and Darth Vader are must. They're must. Another book I've really enjoyed, and because it's got my boy Cap in it, Planet Hulk. Now, I'm going to give you a real quick synopsis of this. Captain Rogers, another variation of Captain Rogers, not the one that we're used to, but he's still Captain Rogers, was this gladiator champion that Doom gave an opportunity to get his freedom by doing a mission for him. He rides a red T-Rex named Devil. That's it. That's all you got to know. You don't need to know anything else. And he fights a bunch of Hulks in the Greenlands, which is a domain in Battle World full of crazy Hulk creatures. Everything's gamma irradiated. Flowers, fish, they're all gamma monsters. Yep, he's in it. This book has been badass so far. The covers have been great. The art's been great. I love it. This is one of my favorite books that has come out of Battle World. I'm a big Cap fan too, so if you like Cap fan, it's awesome. Now, this is something I'm not sure about. This is Star Wars Shattered Empire. Now, at the very top, if you'll see there, the journey to Star Wars Force Awakens. So I'm assuming this is like prequel stuff for when the movie comes out. There you go. That's all I need to say. Okay? All right. I've already read this. Can't wait to get my review on it. Civil War, Cap, Iron Man, Battle World. The war is coming to a close. Let me just tell you that. Okay? Big battle issue. Big battle stuff. All right? Another one of my favorites. He's probably your favorite too. Batman. Okay? Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo. I'm sorry. No, this is Azario. Okay. This starts the different writer. Very, very hyped to read this. And something that I'm trying different. Miracle Man. I've read all the old Neil Gaiman stuff. These are the new stories. Okay, issue 1. So all this will be on review for next week. So I'll tell you what I thought was good, what I thought you should pass on. Now, with that, that's pretty much the end of the show. But what I do want to say is please give me your feedback. If you didn't like something that I said, if you disagree, if you want me to start reading a book to review for you, let me know. Depending on the money situation is that week, if it's just a book or two, I'll pick them up. I'll read them. If you've got a friend that has a comic book or a trade paperback that he's writing or has just released, I would love to read it, love to give a review on my show, maybe get some fans out there, get some exposure to it. I'm very game for that. I want to do that. I want to be, if I bring you new stuff, I would love for my viewers to bring me new stuff. I think that would be super, super, super. But what I want to say is thank you so much. If you've made it to this part of the show, your family, you're one of the Blazing Defender Nation. I really appreciate it. Please go to my YouTube channel, Blazing Defender Report. Watch some of the past shows. If you missed the Periscope viewing, that's cool. It'll be up on YouTube in the morning, probably around noon or so. You can always hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, hit me up on Periscope. It's cool. Please give me your feedback. I really, really, really appreciate all your feedback. And with that, I guess that'll do it for the show. And now it's time for the sign off. And I will just say this. Now, back to your regular scheduled programming. Thank you. Blazing Defender out.